Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the commentary hub here for this live commentary from the Premier League between Burnley and Tottenham Hotspurs. I'm Mike Harneman, of course, commentating on this game. Got Paul James alongside me as well. So we've only got a few minutes to kick off. I'll come to you in a minute. In fact, Paul, I want to just run everyone through the lineup first of all. But the lineups: Burnley have Nick Pope in goal, Roberts, Tarkowski, me, and Peters along the back. Lennon, Cork, Brownhill, and McNeil in midfield with Rodriguez and Weghorst up front. And as for Spurs, it's Lloris, Romero, Dyer, Davis, Emerson Royal, Bentancur, Højbjerg, Sessegnon, Kulusevski, Son, and Kane. The referee is Graham Scott, and then we've got Dan Cook and Dan Raybatten on assistant referee duty. VAR, Jonathan Moss, and not VAR, that's fourth official. Sorry, VAR is Stuart Atwell and Sean Messi Ellis. And then I'll go through the subs when we get a break in play in a minute. But first of all, Paul, very good evening to you. Hopefully you're doing all right.
Yeah, very well, thanks. It's brutal weather at Turf Moor today. It's going to be difficult for the players to play in, and I think Spurs are going to have approached this with a sort of a more defensive formation. I think it looks like they're trying to eliminate Dwight McNeil and Aaron Lennon from getting the ball into Weghorst. But I think this is going to be a lot closer than people realise today. I think we're in for a really, really good game.
And of course, both of these sides have won at the weekend as well. Two very good wins, in fact, two away wins as well. Tottenham going to the Etihad and getting that last-minute winner against Manchester City, and Burnley picking up only their second win of the season, but did it in a good, convincing style.
Yeah, I must admit, I only saw part of the City and Spurs game, but, Spurs are very much an enigma when it comes to this kind of thing. They can go and concede 3 goals to Southampton and then can go and beat Manchester City. I think Spurs are definitely susceptible defensively. They have conceded more goals than Burnley, and Burnley are in the bottom 3, and Spurs are chasing a Champions League position.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat as well. Of course, Burnley still sitting in 19th at the minute, and Tottenham 8th in the table. Obviously, if they win today, they can go level on points with Arsenal, their rivals, who are in 6th at the moment, and overtake Wolves in 7th as well. And obviously, those two sides play each other tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's talking about Wolves. I mean, some of their defensive statistics are ridiculous. They've only conceded, I think, 1 more goal than Manchester City have. They're a very impressive team, and I've personally been extremely impressed with them all season long.
Yeah, very, very good side of Wolves. Just gonna be getting underway in a minute. The players are out, and Harry Kane's just shaking hands over Aaron Lennon, two former teammates, obviously, at Tottenham. And we're going to be getting underway with kickoff in a second. The two managers just shaking hands as well, Conte and Sean Dyche. And then we should be underway with kickoff in just about 15, 20 seconds or less, as the referee, Graham Scott, there is just keeping an eye on the weather by the looks of things there. And having a bit of a joke with some of the players. The Spurs are about to get us underway after, I think we're just about to take the knee, are we? Let's have a look here. I think the players are just about to take the knee right now. So we'll be getting underway in a few seconds' time. This tie here at Turf Moor between Burnley and Tottenham. It's Tottenham to get us up and running, and we are off as well now. It's gone back all the way through to the Tottenham defender, and just having a look here now. It's out with Romero there, and now on to Emerson Royal, trying to play it down the line, looking for, I think that's Kulusevski, is that? And now it's with Son, and looking to find Harry Kane there. I think the deflection already off of a Burnley man, and within 20 seconds there, it's an early corner there for Tottenham.
Yeah, they've started off pretty strongly right immediately on the attack. It's a great interception, actually, by James Tarkowski, just to prevent that cross from coming in.
And it's fortunate not to go into his own net still, but it's just a chance here for Tottenham. Whipped into the box, and it's good head out by the defender. I think that was Tarkowski again, actually. It was indeed. So the Burnley man been, pretty busy there in the opening, 50 seconds or so. He's already got 2 blocks or clearances in there.
Yeah. Again, they're under pressure early on at Burnley.
And of course, it's a chance here for Tottenham now to whip it in. It's going to be Son here to take this delivery, and it's going to come back to him as well. The Korean, what can he do? He loses out, in fact, to Roberts, I think that is. He just shoves down Sessegnon there. And it is a free kick to Tottenham. And of course, we have to mention something that was mentioned obviously yesterday. 3 years to the day was Burnley's last victory over Tottenham by 2-1. And obviously on the score sheet that day was Ashley Barnes and also Chris Wood as well. Obviously, Chris Wood has now moved on to pastures new at Newcastle, but Ashley Barnes is amongst the Burnley subs, and Harry Kane was the Tottenham scorer that day. But it's obviously something that was worth mentioning.
Yeah, Harry Kane Harry Kane has been a real thorn in Burnley's side. I know he's been a thorn in a lot of teams' side, but he's done especially well against Burnley. And they'll have to watch him today. Son as well. Son, of course, scored that absolutely memorable goal a few years ago, which was it was one of the best goals I've ever seen in my life.
There's a good play there from Veghorst. Now he plays it into, I think that was McNeil there, and now onto Peters. He tries to whip one in and goes straight into the gloves of Hugo Lloris, the captain, obviously, of Spurs, who just falls on that one. Tend to do these days to claim that one and then take it right across to the other end of the penalty area, which is something I don't really understand why they do that.
Well, I can kind of get it.
Now Romero. It's a strange one. Like, obviously, you just grab it, and then I suppose it's to waste time. But when you're like only 2.5 minutes in a game, it's not exactly like,
Yeah, I can certainly understand why they fall, especially in weather like this.
Yeah. It's a throw in here for Emerson Royal to take for Tottenham. And he's going to look to throw it to, who's that going to go to there? I think he's going to use Bentancur. And he's going to go back as in. He loses out. Well, in fact, he was lucky then. Spurs are playing a little bit dangerously at the minute along the back and just giving away a needless corner there as well. Good pressing when it comes to Burnley, but Tottenham there, if they concede a goal from this, and I'm sure Antonio Conte is going to be absolutely furious, isn't he?
Oh, he is. It's just sloppy defending again. It's sloppy with the ball. And this is what is destroying Spurs' season right now.
And it's up into the air and cleared, but only as far as that's Ben Mee there, and he's going to get a cross in, is he? The long cross towards McNeil there. McNeil's going to keep it in, and good feet from him. He's going to play it back. He gets it back, in fact, he gets a shot away there. He got it back from, I think that was Brownhill who gave him the ball originally, and another corner there for Burnley. And obviously, again, a couple of early corners for both sides, respectively, in the opening 4 minutes or so.
Yeah, Burnley are now starting to press a little bit, and they whip these corners in this type of climate. Hugo Lloris, the Spurs defence, are going to have some difficulty handling this. And Burnley,
that was a looping sort of delivery there, and Hugo Lloris actually had to get a glove on that one. Because it did look like it was potentially going to beat him there, the French keeper.
Yeah, it was probably right not to try to grab that. I think punching it was probably the right thing to do. The ball swirling about in the air like that. Better to be safe than sorry.
There's a chance here for Spurs to get it forward, though. It's Sessegnon. He goes back, in fact, to Davis and now Eric Dyer. And Eric Dyer is going to use Højbjerg, obviously the ex-Southampton man as well. And he's going to look to control it and just knock it back to Eric Dyer again. And obviously Højbjerg, when he came into Tottenham, was raved about, obviously, as a big signing for them. And he's still living up to that expectation. He's obviously a very good player, and he does improve this Tottenham side when he's actually part of the lineup, doesn't he?
He does. He's very effective in what he does as well. He can score goals. He can create chances. He, in my mind at least, has certainly added to Spurs' already effective attacking lineup.
That's right. And when it comes to obviously the attack with Son and Kane as well, I think if they get one goal, either of those score today, if one was to assist the other, they'll overtake Frank Lampard and Didier Drogba which is obviously a massive feat if they go on and do that. Here is Brownhill for Burnley at the moment. Just going to have a shot there, and it's come off of Eric Dyer, and Højbjerg just smashes that one out as there's an injury to a Spurs man. But I was just saying there, obviously, with the two Tottenham men there, Son and Harry Kane, as it's Bentancur who's obviously down injured there. But I was just saying, obviously, with regards to those two Spurs players, that that's some feat if they're able to overtake Frank Lampard and Didier Drogba there as well.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive because Son has got 9 goals and 5 assists. He's a goal scorer. He creates goals. Harry Kane himself's got 7 goals and 2 assists. You're looking at that's it for Spurs. That's what makes this Spurs team tick. If you take out Son and you take out Kane and maybe even Lloris in goal, you're looking at a very different league position for Spurs.
And of course, as Bentancur is just about to come off as well now, Kulusevski is obviously a new signing. He's obviously on the books here over at Tottenham now as well. Scored his first goal against Manchester City at the weekend, and that's obviously a player that might give them a bit more sort of attacking threat as well. A few different options in the attacking sort of front section of the pitch now.
Yeah, it's you're looking at some. They've got some impressive players on the bench, and they've also got. This is the thing, and this is what's so demoralising for smaller sides. You might come along and take off, say, Ryan Sessegnon, and then you might bring on, maybe Davison Sanchez or somebody like that.
Yeah.
They've got players available that you get rid of one and you get another, and you think, oh my goodness,
And that's it. Like obviously, Lucas Moura a couple of years ago was all about getting Tottenham to the Champions League final, and now we can't even get a place in the starting 11. Now he's back on the substitutes bench again.
Well, I think Antonio Conte, in fairness to him, the poor man has got his hands full, and Daniel Levy, I think, needs to follow the Leicester mantra: stay out of it. Let this man, who is a proven successful manager, sort out the mess at Tottenham Hotspur. But it's going to take time. He's going to need more than one full season, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, this is a tricky game for them, obviously, against a Burnley side who are going to be in good spirits, obviously, on the back of that win over Brighton at the weekend. And obviously, you said about it before, but, it's one of those games that, a lot of clubs, that sort of, the Tottenhams, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, whatever. You don't want to go to Burnley because obviously the sort of kind of game that you're going to get when it comes to Burnley as well. Obviously, it's going to be a very physical kind of game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This is the way Sean Dyche plays. I mean, this is the reason he didn't just sign Wout Weghorst because he's a very intelligent player that his off the ball movement is fantastic. He did it because he's strong, he's physical, he's going to cause a pain in that defence.
There's a chance here for Weghorst. In fact, it was Rodriguez trying to knock it down to him. Here is that McNeil there now. Out to Aaron Lennon, trying to whip across in, and it's straight into Hugo Lloris there. Obviously, it's good that Aaron Lennon's back playing football. Obviously, he had a sort of spell away from the game and a little bit of bout of depression and stuff that he dealt with as well. So obviously, it's good to have him back playing football again and back doing what he loves.
Yeah, I know what that's like to suffer from depression. It's horrible, and for him to come back, bounce back, and play as well as he has is a fine credit to the man. He's proven a lot of Burnley fans wrong, and me being one of them, because I wasn't too impressed with him coming back. I was thinking he's maybe too old now, but boy, has he proven me wrong and proven many other Burnley fans wrong. He's been outstanding this season so far.
And he is one of those players that he loves these sort of games against clubs that he used to play for as well. So I think he's going to be really up for this one today. Here's Sessegnon now to Bentancur and then on to Højbjerg, and now Eric Dyer just knocks it along to Romero there, and now gives that one away to Josh Brownhill, and Eric Peters just about loses up there, and that's McNeil, and then all the way back it goes to Hugo Lloris. But just getting a little bit bitty in midfield, as not really a lot to choose from between the two sides at the minute.
No, Spurs started very well in the first few minutes, but Burnley seems to have created one or two chances of their own. And at the moment, it's the two sides are kind of cancelling each other out a little bit at the moment. But I think you'll see this game break open as it goes on.
It's just Tottenham in possession now with Romero back from Emerson Royal, and going to go back to Eric Dyer now. I'm just going to go back to into midfield to Højbjerg there. There's a chance for Tottenham to try and get it out, to switch it out to Romero again. That's another player, obviously, that's come in fairly recently, Romero for Tottenham. And I think since he's come in, they have improved defensively. Obviously, the weekend, everyone's going to concede a few goals against Manchester City. And I think that, obviously, it's one of those ones where I think they're still trying to figure out, what the best formation is as well. Obviously, they got the 3 points at the weekend, but even before that, they have struggled defensively, and I think they need to just try and, get a bit of a settled defence, whatever that's going to be now, and a settled, back three or back four, back five, whatever that's going to be. Because even before that, they lost to Wolves and Southampton, and obviously to Chelsea as well, and even the Brighton game they conceded in that game as well. Obviously, they went on and won it, but.
Yeah, like I said with Spurs, they've still got a lot of work to do, and they need to give Conte time to do that work. They can't turn into like Watford or anything like that.
No, that's right. And it's just a free ball there. Good head on by Weghorst to Rodriguez, and now it's with the number 11. McNeil, was it? It's just gone behind. In fact, did it go behind, or did they keep it on in the end?
I think they just about kept that on.
It's gone behind for a throw then, rather than a corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Burnley throw. And again, it's going to be Eric Peters to take this one. But, just you see there, Burnley, when you just having a look there, they're getting forward in numbers, which is good to see as well. And sort of showing, they're not afraid of Tottenham. And probably that is partly down to the fact that they've looked into it and seen that Spurs, can concede goals as well, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, they're definitely susceptible to conceding goals, and I think Sean Dyche is doing the right thing by having Burnley attack Spurs, go after them. Yes, okay, in terms of the two teams on paper, there's no comparison, but you've got to attack these teams. They're only human after all.
And there's Aaron Lennon there, just wins the throw off of Sessegnon. That's a nice little reference there to Rag and Bone Man, by the way, that you just put in there. But anyway, it's going to be a throw in here to be taken by Roberts, the right fullback. Also, the right back, sorry. So it is more of a back four than fullback. So Roberts are going to take this one. You've got obviously Weghorst is in there. Big target man if he wants to go for him. He doesn't know, and it's shot at goal there by, I think that was Josh Brownhill, and it's straight at Hugo Lloris in the end. But it's a dangerous, opportunity for Burnley from these throw-ins as well.
Yeah, the chance was there for Brownhill. He just didn't put enough power behind it, but the chance was definitely there. In the end, it was a comfortable save for Lloris, but maybe Brownhill should have done a bit better there.
That's a bit of a late challenge there. I think Sessegnon has left. Who's that? One of the Burnley men in a heap there. Can't quite see who it is at the moment, but that's a very, very late challenge. And, obviously the referee, it was Brownhill again involved that time. But that was late from Ryan Sessegnon. I want to see that again because, oh, wow. He's kind of slid in there and he's just followed through onto the Burnley man. And that is like kind of one of those ones that with VAR, potentially the referee will look at that as potentially, maybe being a red. I don't know, because it has been given in sort of very similar circumstances in sort of games gone by, or sort of seasons gone by anyway.
Well, it certainly has. What I will say in defence of him is, of course, the conditions. And if you're sliding, it can look a lot worse than what it actually is. But yeah, it was a pretty reckless challenge. I don't even think the referee booked him for that.
No, he didn't. He didn't even give a free kick. He just let the game flow or let it continue. There's no yellow card there at all, which is a little bit perplexing, really. Yeah. There's a throw in here for Tottenham. It's going to be Sessegnon to take it as well. And he's going to throw it into Harry Kane there. the England captain, of course, wins the throw off of Weghorst, and in fact, it's come back off of the Tottenham man as well. So that was good play there from Weghorst. It obviously was a double ricochet there.
Yeah, I think Burnley fans can be very happy with Weghorst. He's created a couple of goals. He's obviously scored one, but his movement off the ball is so well. The big difference between him and Wood is he's willing to fight and win the balls himself. He's a different player in the sense that he goes and chases the ball down himself.
And that's obviously, a big signing for Burnley as well. Obviously, he came in the January window, and it was basically one of those ones. It was under the radar from Burnley, and there were, no interest from other clubs, or if there were, then it was only Burnley's interest that actually sort of showed.
Yeah, I was very surprised. When I heard the name, I started laughing because I heard some of the other names that were mentioned in the January transfer window, and I'll be honest with you, I thought most of them was rubbish, and I really thought that this one was rubbish as well. But I have to say, it's a big coup for Burnley to sign a player like Weghorst.
Of course, yeah, 100%. And of course, I think that having maybe somebody like Maxwell Cornet as well. Obviously, he's not involved today because he's out injured. He got injured obviously at the weekend against Brighton, but Burnley are actually trying to sort of make moves at the minute in regards to some of their signings, which obviously, no disrespect to Burnley, in years gone by, it's something that they, wouldn't really have done.
No, that's true. It's very true. It's still criticised even now that they don't do enough. And I agree with that. I don't think they do enough. And I think if you want to maintain your position in the Premier League, you have to sign quality. The league is improving every year.
And of course, when you lose, obviously, somebody of Chris Wood's quality as well, to somebody who's a rival of yours in the relegation sort of dogfight as it is as well, and the side who were just outside the relegation zone, obviously, to replace him with somebody of Weghorst's quality, is brilliant for Burnley to do that. A big coup, as you were saying, but it's still one of those ones that there's probably there could still be a bit of an unwritten story when it comes down to Chris Wood and Burnley. And potentially, him being a factor in if Burnley get relegated or whatever.
Yeah, it is. And I personally think Newcastle will be well safe by then as well. So, I don't think we're going to be, I may be wrong, but I don't think we're going to be seeing sort of a last day relegation battle between two sides.
That's Newcastle obviously with the money, and they've started picking up a few results as well now. And obviously, they've now lifted themselves out of the relegation zone. So something that I'm sure you'll want Burnley to do.
Oh, it would be very nice.
Just a chance here for Emerson Royal there. He's going to knock it into Kulusevski, and then it's back with Romero. That's Romero now. I think it was actually Emerson Royal before. Now it's Kane. Now Emerson Royal again, looking for the Tottenham front man again. Now it's back with Emerson Royal, and now Højbjerg, and back to Bentancur, and now Tottenham just keeping possession for a little bit here now, and just playing a few sort of simple, easy balls, just trying to sort of break Burnley down, I guess. And good play there for Kulusevski. Is that towards Son? Was that Son? Or was that, no, it was actually Romero up there from the back. See, I didn't, no wonder I got that one wrong, because I'm surprised that he's, that far forward.
Yeah. Again, now just good defending by Burnley. They've really sorted out a lot of their defensive issues that they had early on in the season, and they have conceded less goals than anybody else in the bottom half of the table,
which is a big, obviously big factor there in Burnley looking to pick up some points. That was a good chance and header there from Roberts as well. And it's Nick Pope going to take this one. About 20 minutes played. Still Burnley 0, Tottenham 0 on the Commentary Hub channels. It's up into the air there, and good header from the Tottenham man. I think that was Romero, was it? Now Tarkowski just slides that one, and he's going to be kept in by, I think that might have been Cork, was it? I'm not too sure. There's another collision there. This time it's Bentancur, he went down earlier. Obviously, he's gone down again now, but he's back to his feet pretty sharpish there. And he just plays it across to Højbjerg. And what can the Tottenham man do here from this attack? He's going to play it back to Eric Dyer there. Eric Dyer just switches it across towards Ryan Sessegnon. He's going to be offside there. And good play from Burnley there to catch him in that offside position as well.
Yep, nice to see Burnley catching people offside as opposed to being offside themselves. They are the kings of that chart right now and ranked number 1 for offsides.
If you were going to win the league by offside, you'd be top of the league and probably not too far away from winning the title.
Yeah, that's true. I have to put it down to mostly Chris Wood in that situation. Chris Wood got found out quite a bit with offsides.
Obviously, now he's gone to be offside at Newcastle instead.
Yeah.
It's header there towards Rodriguez from Weghorst, and it's cleared out, and it's now won back, in fact, by Roberts there. And again, it's a little bit meaty there. Another injury player down there. Peters lets that one roll through to McNeil there. Roberts is still down. It's now back with Ben Mee. And the referee.
I just wonder whether Ben Mee's going to put it out of play now.
Yeah, let's have a look here. Now he wants to get it forward. He wants to knock it towards one of his strikers there. Now it's see, Roberts is up, but he's still moving gingerly and just going to see if he can run it off. He looks like he's sort of getting to his fitness, getting back to his bit more fitness again now.
Yeah, he has been one of Burnley's better signings as well as Connor Roberts. He's just been so impressive since he made his debut. And he's not just an excellent defender, he creates chances as well. He can almost be used as a winger.
There he is in possession again now as well. He's keeping Matt Loughton obviously out of the team as well. He's on the bench for Burnley today amongst the substitutes there. Burnley got a couple of youngsters on the bench, in fact, as well, as have Tottenham, now that there's the extended contingency of subs that are readily available. Both sides have got 2 youngsters on the bench, which when the ball goes out of play next, I'll run that through in full. But here's Aaron Lennon now. Back to Cork there. What can Jack Cork do here for Burnley? He plays it to Rodriguez, and then Jack Cork knocks it on to Ben Mee there. He just plays it out to Eric Peters, I think that is it? Or is it? In fact, it was McNeil, I believe. And then back with Ben Mee again, he just switches it across to his centre-back partner, who looks to play it out to Roberts there. It's going to be a chance for Burnley to knock it into the box, and it's given away, in fact, straight to Romero there. And there's Kulusevski back there. Now Ben Mee. But obviously with this game, 24 minutes in, if you're Sean Dyche or if you're obviously Antonio Conte, who's going to be looking at this as the happier of the two managers so far?
Well, I have to say probably Sean Dyche. He needs a win, I think, but I would like to say that he's got to be happy with the way that Burnley have weathered the early storm. They've tried to create chances of their own and test this Tottenham Hotspur defence. I think Sean Dyche has got to be the happier of the two managers so far.
And they're on the attack as well now with that's Aaron Lennon there. He beats his man Son as well, gets a delivery into the box, and chance here for Weghorst, and it's, what were they claiming? I think they were claiming potentially handball, but now it's with McNeil, and he's going to claim for another handball there. Referee Graham Scott doesn't want to give either of them, though.
I think definitely not the second one. He had his hand by his side as well. I think that would have been incredibly harsh.
To be fair, if that was given, then you just have to give up on football altogether. Here is Weghorst now. He wins a corner off of, I think that was off of one of the Spurs defenders. Was it Romero? Couldn't quite see who it was. In fact, it might have been, I think it was Romero, in fact. But anyway, it's looked like Weghorst was offside there. It
did.
Yeah.
It did. He pulled back, which I thought was really good, but he just went forward again just a little bit too soon.
And it has. Did they give the corner, or has he put the flag up? Let's have a look here. What the assistant actually gave. I think they have given the offside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a strange one because it looks like the keeper wants to let, I think it's Romero, take it. And I always find that a bit strange at times, especially when it comes to goal kicks, when the defenders end up taking it for the goalie.
Yeah, I think Spurs like to play from the back a lot as well, and I think that's part of probably a part of their defensive issues as well. But they do seem to like to take it from the back and try to play their way forward. It's good when it works, but if you lose that ball in your own half again, you're just inviting more pressure.
Absolutely, and obviously when it comes to to Burnley as well, they do have threat there. Obviously Aaron Lennon, obviously McNeil is a threat. Rodriguez and Veghorst are all four of those are threats as well. So if you do lose out there, in a defensive position, then those players can capitalize on your mistake.
Yeah, that's it exactly. So I mean, I understand why Spurs want to play that way. You've got a European manager who enjoys playing pure football. We here in England have invented the long ball game, really. We've invented the kind of hoof the ball up or the long ball over the top. We've done that really. The Europeans generally do tend to play a bit more of a smoother game.
That's right, and obviously Antonio Conte knows all about that as well. Obviously, having managed in European leagues as well. Obviously, he was manager in Italy, wasn't he, for a while?
Yeah.
Here is Davis now for Tottenham. What's he going to do there? Gets Højbjerg. No, it's just knocked on to that's Eric Dyer, and now is that Romero? I think it might be. No, it's with Harry Kane there. Just knocks it out to Emerson Royal, and then it's Kulusevski there, but good defending from Burnley, and not clear. No, it's back with Tottenham though. Just going to knock it out to Emerson Royal again. Emerson Royal's going to try and play it towards Son, and it comes up for Burnley man last and behind for what I thought was a corner, but the referee, in fact, has given a goal kick there.
That's strange. That definitely came off Ben Mee.
That's what I thought as well, yeah.
Let's take a look at that again. That looked to me like that came off clearly off Ben Mee. Now I stand to be corrected. Oh no, it did take a deflection.
It came off of Ben Mee, and then it come back off of Ben Mee, off of Harry Kane, and then out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good decision actually from Graham Scott. Good referee in that.
Yeah, that happened all too quick for the eye to see right away.
It did. It's a chance here for McNeil there. What can he do here? The Burnley man is going to knock it back to Jack Cork now. He's been getting involved into the game a little bit more now, Jack Cork, in possession a little bit more. And that's back with Nick Pope. Just slips as he takes that kick, and it's a poor clearance. But in fact, he's got away with it, and it manages to get through to Emerson Royal and Romero, and then back to Hugo Lloris anyway. But I was just saying about Jack Cork. Obviously, he's been the first 10, 15 minutes. He wasn't really involved in the game, but he's had a few more touches since then.
Yeah, it's the midfield where Burnley have struggled all season long. It's just been torn apart all season long. But just in the last few games, they've started to look a little bit more stronger in that area. Jack Cork has played better.
So Kulusevski there just shoves one of the Burnley men down to the floor. Couldn't quite see which one it was, but definite easy decision for the referee anyway.
Yeah, let's look at this one again. Yeah, he just shoves him, and he's complaining. He's complaining. Why? I never understand that.
I know. There's absolutely no need to complain there. That's the easiest free kick the referee Graham Scott's going to give all night.
Yeah.
Nick Pope just whacks that one into the Tottenham half. It's kind of got caught in the wind by the looks of things there, or a little bit of caught in the storm. I guess it is. It's probably still the storm, isn't it? Yeah. Now it's back with Eric Peters, and then back to Nick Pope again. And again, that one's got caught up in the air again there as he tries to clear that one, and does look like there's some strong winds obviously at the moment.
Yeah, the wind, the sleet. This is not ideal conditions for play. It'll probably suit Burnley more than it will suit Spurs.
That's just a Burnley throw there. Antonio Conte all wrapped up. He's got his baseball cap on and everything as well. And Sean Dyche, being the hard man that he is, he's probably just wearing a t-shirt, isn't he?
Well, I saw him now. He wasn't even wearing any hat. Looked like he was soaked from head to foot.
Reminds me of obviously, I think it was March or something of last year, where Kieran Tierney went to training at Arsenal in just a t-shirt and shorts in the middle of winter.
There's a look at Sean Dyche right now, waving his arms around.
Yeah, but he does still look relatively covered up though, considering he's only not wearing a hat. I just think maybe just wear a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, but it's not as strong as the Scottish, I guess.
No.
Kulusevski now, just going to give that one away, but go back to you, yeah?
Yeah, I think with Burnley, these conditions, this is really Burnley conditions. It's right on the Pennines. It's the middle of winter. Definitely the locals will be used to it. I suspect by now Sean Dyche will be used to it.
There's Jack Cork now. He's going to play it across into midfield to Josh Brownhill and then on to Dwight McNeil. And what can the Burnley midfielder do here? He's going to look to get a cross in, and it's taking the deflection of it. It's onto the head of, that was Veghorst there at the near post, and in fact it was Rodriguez, that time around. And actually that was a good delivery from the Burnley man there. And obviously just Rodriguez, he's offside in the end, but he's done well to beat the defence there. But yeah, his mind was offside, to be fair.
Yeah, McNeil has been criticised a lot by Burnley fans this season. I have to say I've not been impressed with his performances this season. Last couple have not been too bad, and that was a really good ball in.
There's a chance here for Tottenham now through Bentancur to Sessegnon. And now it's back with Bentancur again, and now Harry Kane there looks to play it out to Emerson Royal. Got a bit of space here as well. Is he going to get a shot away? He is indeed, and it's one of those shots that was in more danger of hitting somebody in the crowd than actually troubling the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he cuts inside. They've got a bit of space there for the first time in this first half to kind of do something. They haven't had a shot on target yet, and that should have been better. That should have been better by Royal. It was blazed over the crossbar. Hit the target while you've got the chance.
That's a good opportunity there for Tottenham to move the ball forward a little bit, and as you were saying there, it's the first time they've really got into any positions of note really in that half, but didn't even test Nick Pope in the Burnley goal. 33 minutes played, still remaining goalless at the minute. Burnley 0, Tottenham 0. Just about 10 or just over 10 minutes till half time, of course. Another man down there. There's been a few of those incidences in this first half, and again, that's a late one by Sessegnon, and Burnley do get a free kick this time around, but these players, they seem to be going in quite heavy with the challenges today.
Well, I would expect so. Knowing that you're playing Burnley, you can't afford to show weakness when it comes to physical play. And I can understand perhaps why Spurs are doing what they're doing. Some of the challenges are late. That one was another example of that. But you can't afford to play against Burnley unless you are willing to go in hard and play physically strong. Otherwise, they're going to roll all over you.
We've just had a goal in the Champions League as well. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Manchester United 0, with Sequeira getting the goal. So Ralph Rangnick's side are behind at the moment. 7 played in that one. And there's a few other Premier League games which I'll keep an eye on in a moment as well after this free kick, if there's anything else has happened. It's delivered in towards Tarkowski and just gone out of play there. So it's going to be a Tottenham goal kick. Hugo Lloris to take, obviously. We'll say obviously, not we were talking about obviously with keepers before. But when it comes down to the Premier League, we've had a couple of goals already. Watford and Crystal Palace is 1-1. Mateta gave Palace a lead, and then Sissoko equalised, and Liverpool are 1-0 up against Leeds at home. Mo Salah from the penalty spot in that one. Obviously, another player that is in a rich vein of form and had a very, very good season for Liverpool and also for Egypt as well in the AFCON.
Oh, when is he never in a rich vein of form? I mean, he is just a machine, isn't he?
One of those players that, when he's on, if he's on your team, you love him. If you're playing against him, you despise him.
But you've just got to admire the sheer quality and ability of the man. Like, he's absolutely outstanding. He can create chances. He can score goals. He rarely misses.
That's right. And when he does miss, it's a little bit like if Harry Kane or Son to miss, it comes sort of that infrequently that it's one of those ones that you just kind of have to watch it a second, a third, maybe even a fourth time. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking for reasons why he's missed, aren't you? Saying, did the ball
Exactly.
bobble? Was the pitch funny?
Playing on a different surface to usual. He's not playing on grass. He's playing on clay or something.
That's true.
There's Benton Kerr now, just playing it out to. That was, I think it might have been Kulusevski there, but now it's crossed to the other side with Ryan Sessegnon, and now he gets it back as well. Just going to knock it back to Ben Davies there, and now Tottenham is just going to have possession here and try to play it out wide to. That's Benton Kerr, I think, out there. Kind of switching positions a little bit. Good turn there from Højbjerg. He wins the free kick as well. And that was really good feet from the ex-Southampton man there. Just a chance here for... Okay, nothing actually come of that. But that was a lovely little bit of trickery there from Højbjerg there.
Oh, yeah, it's a very cute little turn there, winning the free kick. I noticed the referee has tried to keep his cards in his pocket this first half, despite some of the late challenges, and that's good. I'm glad to see the referees is trying to do that now, because you don't want an overrun of yellow cards and red cards in the league.
No, of course not, and and especially needless ones anyway. When it comes to certain decisions, obviously the referee's got to stamp their authority, but in this game, two sides are quite, playing quite physical, sort of, between the pair of them. Really, that there's not one that's been more physical than the other, and yeah, just allow the game to flow. I'm kind of glad that the referee's doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting tussle so far, isn't it, really? I think both teams are sort of huffing and puffing to try to break the other down. But the both defences are kind of holding fairly steady right now. And I think the three centre-backs for Spurs are kind of negating that longer ball from Burnley.
That's right. And obviously, when they're in possession, they are trying to get it moving quite quickly as well. Now they've just played it through there to Benton Kerr. I think that was now Harry Kane here. Trying to switch that one out to Kulusevski, but that's good defending from McNeil, who just covered very, very well, and he kind of looked like he might get a bit lost there, and a little bit dizzy there. Didn't know if he knew where he was for a second, but in the end he actually got the ball upfield, which was obviously good play.
Yeah, they're doing. Spurs are knocking the ball around now. They're very comfortable in possession, and I think Burnley are quite happy to sort of invite them forward. But yeah, they're defending very well at Burnley right now as well. It's just rain still coming down.
It's one of those ones. Obviously, when you look at the South benches, obviously there's not really a lot going on at this precise second. The ball's actually just going to be cleared up towards Sessegnon and gone out of play. But when you look at the benches, obviously Burnley have Lowton, Barnes, obviously Hennessy the keeper, Stevens, Collins, Bardsley, Long, and the two youngsters, Thomas, and obviously Richardson, the striker as well, Lewis Richardson, who is only a 19-year-old, and he's got himself a couple of goals at international level already for England under 16s and under 17s. He made an appearance as well without scoring. But the options there for Burnley are probably Ashley Barnes for anyone that's going to get you a goal. And Tottenham, obviously, we mentioned Moura earlier. They've got Bergwijn, they've got Austin, White, Roden, Winks, Sanchez, Reguilon, and Doherty as well. So for them, obviously, the main one would be sort of Bergwijn, Moura. Potentially, if they want to change the fullback, then Sergio Reguilon as well.
Yeah, they've got a lot of options on the bench of Spurs.
Only the one, obviously, for Burnley really But obviously Stevens is an option in midfield as well.
I would say no. The reason why I'd say no is because he's just been dreadful from start to finish.
Kulusevski here for Tottenham. Good defending there by Cork, and just whacked clear again by Burnley. Can't really get the ball sort of too far forward or keep the ball for too long at the minute. Burnley is going pretty much straight back to Tottenham again.
They're pressing very well.
Romero. That's Son, and this could play there from Burnley again, just towards Rodriguez, but just loses out again. And it's kind of a little bit now. It's Aaron Lennon though. Looks like one team wants it, and then the other team wants it, and then neither team wants it. So anyway, it's Rodriguez now to Weghorst. Back to Rodriguez again. Bit more of a continued bit of possession here for Burnley now. That's Brownhill there, out to McNeil, back to Brownhill again. Now it's with, so that was Peter, sorry, before. Now McNeil, now Peter, sorry. Wins the throw there. 5 minutes ago till half time. Still yet to have that goal or really sort of clear-cut chance either.
Yeah, both sides have defended very, very well in the first half. I think Spurs, as this half has gone on, are trying to press Burnley more, forcing them back. And I think for a large part as well is Burnley don't mind that. They don't mind inviting pressure sometimes onto them, but they're pushing forward well as Spurs now as this first half goes on. They're trying to take control of the game. But I think both sides have defended very, very well in the first half, and I'm fascinated with the way that Spurs have shut down Burnley with the three centre-backs and as well making it very difficult for Lennon and McNeil to really create chances for Burnley.
That's right, and obviously those are two players there that you really want to get on, creative, and then obviously feed the ball through to Rodriguez and Weghorst, who can put the ball in the back of the net. Crystal Palace, incidentally, are now 2-1 up against Watford. Conor Gallagher continuing on with his good form as well, grabbing the second Palace goal to give Patrick Vieira's side the lead just on the stroke of half-time almost there at the moment. They're Sessegnon to Son. In fact, was that Sessegnon there again now? Now it's back to Bentancur. Onto Højbjerg. In fact, it's Eric Dyer, sorry. Now Romero there. Back to Eric Dyer again. Just back with Bentancur, and Tottenham trying to keep the possession for a minute to try and get the ball moving forward, and they're doing okay with that at the moment as well, moving up the pitch sort of slowly but surely. Here's Harry Kane now. Can have a shot, and it's taking the deflection there, and it's gone straight back to Brownhill, and Burnley looks to counter now as well. They're moving forward in numbers here, Burnley. Here's McNeil now. In fact, it's Rodriguez, sorry, and then Weghorst is in support as well. It goes back to Cork, and now that's Connor Roberts there. Tottenham are getting some numbers back though. It's a shot at goal there, and it's took the deflection off of Romero, and Højbjerg. Now Kane has to go back to his keeper though. He just Tottenham have it back through Harry Kane, and now it's with Son. But again, there Burnley were moving forward. And for a minute they looked like they had potential to get at this Tottenham defence and counter on them there for a minute or two.
Yeah, they broke out very well there and in numbers as well, which is what made that really impressive. They moved the ball around, they got the ball, cycled the ball nicely down to the wingers, but again, it was the final ball into the box that just wasn't there for Burnley. And the results are so far going their way. They really need to try to win this game.
There's just a collision there, obviously Harry Kane and Brownhill, but there was no wrongdoing or anything like that. Although Harry Kane seems to think that there was. He's having a word with the referee there, Graham Scott. He's not happy there, the England captain. Don't really know why. There wasn't really anything in that. It was, not really a nasty challenge or anything like that. Here is Højbjerg, and now that's Royal there. Now he gets it back again. Just coming up to the last minute of this half. Of course, you're listening to the Commentary Hub and all the Commentary Hub channels as well in partnership with Melon, the Melon streaming app. So go and give them a little look as well when you get a minute. In fact, why not do it at halftime? Why not do it at halftime? We're almost there.
I've noticed as well, Mike, the ball's just not moving as freely. The pitch might be getting a little bit bogged down. So players have to be careful of this now, and be careful of errors as the game goes on.
And that's something that you very rarely see as well. We hit 45 minutes and straight away the whistle was blown. Not even a minute or a second of injury time there. You very rarely see that in the Premier League. But the referee, Graham Scott, called it dead on 45.
Yeah, they've done very well in this first half of Burnley. They've defended very well. They've tried to break forward, but I have to give credit to Spurs. The defence has been excellent.
We've got a message there from Luke as well. Obviously, Luke's watching one of the games today as well, which I believe is a championship game between Sheffield United and Blackburn. So we'll come to you, Luke, if you're still there for a bit of an update into the game. Is it half time, or how far into the game are we, and what's been happening?
We are about 10 minutes away from half time. Sheffield United had a goal disallowed from Norrington Davis. It actually was fairly close. I'd have probably called it onside, but I'm not an official. And Sheffield United have been on top for the first 20 minutes. Blackburn have just about started to get into the game. Raider Kadra was close from a free kick a couple of minutes ago, but really, it's 0-0.
Okay, thank you for that. John Matip, by the way, has given Liverpool a 2-goal lead now. And obviously Mo Salah had to be involved because he got an assist for this one. So the Egyptian's got himself a goal and an assist already tonight, and he's only played 33 minutes. So obviously that's the power of the Egyptian king there, as they call him in Liverpool on Merseyside.
Yeah, he's such an impressive player, isn't he? So impressive to watch. You just watch his movement, his ability in front of goal. Yeah, you've just got a world-class generational player there, and a proven goal scorer that's just relentless.
He's one of those players. We said about it earlier, obviously, about how good he is. You'd love him in your team, wouldn't you? I'm sure any Burnley fan would certainly love him in their team.
Oh, absolutely. I can't think of a single team actually right now in the world, and that includes Bayern Munich, who have Robert Lewandowski, that you wouldn't kill to have this man in your lineup.
Apparently, it's now 3-0. Apparently, Mo Salah has scored a second penalty as well, according to Luke there. It is indeed. Mo Salah has grabbed himself 2 goals and an assist now. So if you've got him in your fantasy football team, you're loving life, especially if he's captain right now.
I must admit, I've never done fantasy football before. I don't even understand it.
It's good. I get into it some years. I don't know. I kind of go off the boil and then kind of forget I've got a team. But yeah, I think my captain's probably still Harry Kane. As an Arsenal fan, I shouldn't say that too loud.
What on earth possessed you to do that?
I think they had a game against Norwich or somebody, and it was like a game that was, pretty much a guaranteed win. So
for you, isn't that like selling your soul to the devil?
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm sure you'll be doing it. Actually, no, you won't be doing it at Blackburn getting the Premier League. Scrap
Absolutely not.
Anyway, back to the here and now. And actually, talking of Blackburn, they're obviously playing Sheffield United, and there's been a double chance for the Blades as well, Luke.
Yeah, Sander Burge went down the right hand side, pulled the ball back to George Baldock, who hit it straight at the keeper. It bounced out to then Sander Burge, who basically just hits it straight back at the keeper. So maybe Sheffield United need to stop shooting at the keeper. Still no.
Cheers. Thanks for that, mate. Obviously, keep us up to date with what is going on when it comes to that one as well, and how the game's going to pan out. We've still not had any goals in the 2 games that we're covering so far, so not much of an improvement on your stream last night, Luke. In fact, you had 2 goals, didn't you? I think in your stream there. Anyway, just having a look here in regards to the here and now. Obviously, there's a few games going on. Luke apparently wants a 0-0. Okay, I don't. But no, we're just having a look here at some of these other scores. It's Ajax are leading Benfica in the Champions League as well at the moment. Obviously, Watford are still trailing and Leeds are still trailing as well. And in the Championship, Millwall are winning against Derby. Fulham are continuing on with their good run. Mitrovic scoring again from the penalty spot. They're 1-0 up against Peterborough. Obviously, Mitrovic is on fire. Huddersfield and Cardiff 0-0. QPR are 1-0 up through Dun against Blackpool. So QPR are doing very well at the minute as well. And Stoke 0, Luton 0 is also just about 32 minutes into that one. And in the Arnold Clark Cup, the other game that's across the other TC Hub channels, they've had some goals. Is England the Lionesses 1, Germany 1. So that is the half time in that one. It's actually half time there now. They could do with sending some goals our way, couldn't they, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be very, very nice, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
I think I think that the game itself has not been too bad, though, Mike. I think we're looking at two teams that are putting on impressive defensive displays. It's a fascinating tactical battle, but I really I think if you're looking at it from a neutral's point of view, yes, you probably want to see goals. It's the second half. I think Spurs are going to want to ramp things up. They need the win. Burnley need the win, so they're going to have to try to figure out this Spurs defence and create some chances. I think Weghorst has been very quiet in the first half. He's done work quietly. I don't think he's played badly. I just think he's been quietly marked out of the game.
Yeah, and when you look at obviously Rodriguez as well, he's had a chance or two. Obviously, the one that was offside, but again, he's been pretty quiet. Really, he's not had sort of loads and loads of opportunities, has he at all?
No, I don't think either side has, to be honest. I mean, I was looking in the first day when Burnley did have one or two chances as they got into the game. I was starting to look at that Spurs defence, and I was thinking to myself, well, these are the gaps. This is where Burnley can create chances. But they have really improved as the game has gone on, Spurs defensively, and they look a lot more solid than I've seen them in weeks. But Burnley do as well. So I think Sean Dyche will be quite happy with a point, but I think he needs more than that.
It's something about obviously Burnley against Tottenham as well. Obviously, we touched on the time that Burnley actually won against Tottenham back 3 years ago to the day, but that was actually their only win in I think it's about 12, might even be 15 meetings in all competitions. In fact, and it's Tottenham who are the sides that absolutely seem to love playing against Burnley and picking up results as well.
Yeah, I was looking at the head-to-heads last night, and Burnley in the last 5 games have only beaten Spurs once in the league, and they've come up with some pretty unpleasant results, both in 5-0 and 4-0. But in terms of Premier League history, Burnley do have 2 wins against Spurs, both at home. One of them was in the relegation season, and I want to say it was the 2009-2010 relegation season, where they won the last game of the season against Spurs. I'm just trying to remember. I think the score was either 3-1 or 3-2. I can't remember exactly. But I think the manager at the time for Spurs was Harry Redknapp, and he was absolutely furious.
Okay.
They haven't won anything at Spurs, either at White Hart Lane or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but they have picked up 3 draws. Spurs have you're quite correct. Spurs have dominated this fixture over the years.
Just looking here, obviously Burnley did beat Spurs in 2009, but it was actually a League Cup. They won 3-2 in the League Cup. It might have been the league as well.
That was a promotion season.
And then obviously Jermaine Defoe and Roman Pavlyuchenko scored for Tottenham that day. And Tottenham went through 6-4, I think it was, on aggregate over the 2 legs.
Yeah, that's right. This was a promotion season, the year that they got promoted. This wasn't the Premier League, but they lost the first leg 4-1, And
Mhm.
of course, everybody kind of thought it was over, but they managed to win the second leg 3-0. So it went into extra time because the away goals rule before extra time was done away with. And then I guess Burnley got tired, and you're correct. Jermaine Defoe and Roman Pavlyuchenko scored twice. But the next season, I believe it was Harry Redknapp in charge. And I'm just trying to remember what the score was. But it was the last game of the
I'll see if I
season.
can find it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it was the last game of the season. Harry Redknapp was in charge of Spurs, and I want to say that it was 3-2. I'm not 100% on the
oh, here
score.
we go. 4-2. 4-2 Burnley.
4-2. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, I wasn't 100% on the score, but it's the only time that they've had any luck in this fixture for years. Really, I mean, they have won an FA Cup game against, I think it was an FA Cup game against Spurs a few years before the League Cup,
Okay.
and I think they won two. What was it, an FA Cup or was it a? I think it was an FA Cup. They won 2-1, and Robbie Blake and Steve Davis got the goals that day.
Not the snooker player, no?
No, no, but yeah, they've had pockets of results against Spurs, but I mean, this is a fixture that's been dominated by Tottenham Hotspur, and sometimes with some, like I said earlier, with some pretty
Yeah.
unpleasant results for Burnley fans. I'm sure many remember that 5-0 loss and the 4-0 loss.
I'm just looking,
Was.
obviously, the two wins that I was just talking about, the 3-2 and the 4-2. Jack Cork scored in the 4-2, and Jay Rodriguez scored in the 3-2.
Yeah, Jay Rodriguez, I think, got the third goal.
Mhm.
And it was something that going into the game, no Burnley fan believed could happen, but they did it. They managed to pull it back, and I just remember seeing the crowd. And I was living in England back then,
Yeah.
and I just remember seeing the crowd, and I want to say I was living in England. I might have been living in Ireland, and maybe that's why I didn't attend the game. I think I was living in Ireland at the time, but I remember watching the crowd, and I was so impressed with the way that Burnley played that day.
Mhm.
There's not been a lot of times in my life as a Burnley fan where I can hold my hand up and say I was proud to be a Burnley fan that day. There has been times, and where they've done just the most amazing things, and this was one of those times.
Just having a look here at some of those other players that were playing that day as well. Obviously, Burnley were managed by Brian Laws that time around as well.
Yeah, Brian Laws on the Premier League game. I think it was Owen Coyle the season before in the League Cup, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because Brian Laws, when he took over when Owen Coyle left, nobody was happy with that appointment. I would say nobody. I'd say most people weren't happy. And I remember the then chairman, Barry Kilby, saying, "You have to give Brian a chance." And I was like, "No, I don't want to give Brian a chance."
I love how you remember all of those details as if it was basically yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, I just remember going on the forums, and everybody was making a mockery of this statement. You know, you have to give Brian a chance. And yes, okay, I totally agree with Luke. Brian Laws is as lovely as a guy, but as a manager, he just didn't have it. As a player, when he used to play for Nottingham Forest, he was again an outstanding player. But as a manager, I just don't think he was good enough. Certainly wasn't ready at the time to take over Burnley. So I think a lot were happy when he left the next season.
And obviously, just going to be getting back underway in a minute or two for the second half. Just having a look at some more stats, obviously, for Burnley here as well. Obviously, that win against Brighton at the weekend was the first win in 12 matches as well. So obviously, they're looking to build on that one with a positive second half here now as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the game open up in the second half. I think both teams need to grind out a result here.
And I just wanted to see, obviously, if the two sides have actually played this season already. I think they play already this season. Let's have a look here. It was no, they're playing in May, so right at the very end of the season at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, this is a rescheduled, snowed out game, which was the first one, and yeah, they've still got to go back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and try. And at that point, they're going to need to get a win in May. Every result is at that point, the way it'll be is absolutely crucial.
Just looks like Harry Winks is going to come on for Tottenham as well. I'm not too sure who that's going to be that they're going to replace at the minute, but does look like Harry Winks is ready to come on for Antonio Conte's men. He was out warming up at half time anyway. He's got his
looks like Bentancur, I think.
Might be. He did have a few collisions in the first half, didn't he? Yeah. Let's have a look here. Burnley are just coming out now as well. Don't know if they're going to make any changes. Doesn't look like Burnley are going to make any changes. I think it's just going to be that one for Tottenham at the moment. Harry Winks is coming on, or has come on, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way Sean Dyche usually works is he'll probably bring on Ashley Barnes for either probably Jay Rodriguez. And he may make a change in midfield with Dale Stephens. Unless there's any injuries, I don't see him making any other changes. James Tarkowski's just come back from injury, so maybe he'll bring on Nathan Collins in the second half at some point as well.
Obviously, Nathan Collins was signed from Stoke, wasn't he? And when he's played for Burnley, he's actually looked like he's settled in very, very well as well.
Yeah, he's been very impressive. If I would have started him today ahead of James Tarkowski, not because I think Tarkowski is a bad player, but just because Nathan Collins is playing very, very well right now.
I do really like him as well. I've rated him at Stoke, and obviously coming into Burnley is a very, very good player as well. Just going to confirm that substitution. I think it was Bentancur, but it's going to confirm that as Sean Dyche gets himself ready to go on a little bit of a run off there towards the touchline.
Yeah, he always seems to be the last one out, Sean Dyche, and then he goes charging round the corner, making the 100-mile sprint.
Little jog off. It was Bentancur that came off for Harry Winks. Just got the confirmation through now. And it is Burnley to get us underway. And it's now with Veghorst, and now just at the minute it's just up into the air with Emerson Royal there. And a bit of a chance here for Burnley to get it forward towards Jay Rodriguez. And now that is Brownhill. And what can he do here? He's got McNeil in support. He uses him as well. Back to Josh Brownhill again. Here's Jay Rodriguez. Is he fouled there? Referee says he wasn't. But he's going to let Tottenham play on. Here's Son now. He's got Kulusevski in support. And it's a good tackle there from Ben Mee, is it? Or is he going to give a free kick for that one?
No, it looks like the play's going to continue.
I think he has pulled it back for a free kick here on Son. Let's have a look here. I think he has pulled it back.
Oh, he has.
For that free kick by Ben Mee there.
Yeah, he's complaining, but I don't think he's got... let's have a look. Yeah, he's got nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about. It's a late challenge. He's lucky he's not in the yellow card in the book. This drives me crazy when players know that they've committed this foul and then just getting the referee's face. It's why?
I know it's one of those ones that they just seem to want to complain. Just for the sake of complaining sometimes. Yeah, it's going to be whipped in towards. Looks like Harry Kane's in there. It might be going towards him by Son. Good delivery from Son, and it's header onto the crossbar there. And chance for Tottenham. I think it was Eric Dyer who hit the crossbar originally. Now it's Højbjerg. And I need to see if Nick Pope actually got a glove on that as well, because that was a good delivery from Son, and then inches away from Tottenham going 1-0 up there.
Yeah, he might have got a hand to that. That was that was an excellent header, and I can't even say that was bad defending, because it wasn't. It was whipped in excellently. The ball was brilliantly whipped in, and the header got a lot of power behind it. I don't know whether Pope did get a glove on that, but it's Burnley are lucky still to be on parity right now.
I think it might have been Harry Kane. Was it actually Harry Kane that won the header? I think it was. It was indeed actually the England captain there. And let's have a look if he did get a glove on that. It was a good header originally. No, it's just kind of come straight back off the crossbar. But that was good delivery from Son. And Kane just got his head to it and inches away from beating that record, as we were saying earlier, that was set by Drogba and Frank Lampard.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the ball was whipped in so quickly and fast by Son there that, all that Kane has to do is direct his head get his head onto it, and the power will be there. And yeah, that was definitely Spurs' best moment of the game.
It's just a throw in here for Tottenham. Emerson Royal is going to take it. Incidentally, Son and Kane have assisted each other 36 times, which is the joint record. So they're looking obviously to make that 37 now.
Yeah, big reason Spurs are where they are right now.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And if they didn't have those two players, obviously Son was out injured for a while as well. If he didn't get the injury, then Tottenham could have easily been, right up in the mix for top four even now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it contributes Harry Kane so well.
There's Weghorst here for Burnley now. He's gonna. That was good turn there from Weghorst. Here's Cork now up to. That's towards Roberts there, but good defending from. I think that's Sessegnon there now back with Davis. Now Eric Dyer. 49 minutes played, still remaining goalless. Burnley 0, Tottenham 0 on the TC Hub and the TC Hub platforms. Of course, we've got the player of the match to be decided a little bit later on as well, which I'm sure Paul's going to be loving the thought of having to pick one of them. That's Emerson Royal now towards Harry Kane again, and it's hook clear in the end by the Burnley defence. I think it was who was that there? Was that Eric Peters maybe? Yeah. But I was just saying, obviously, you've got to pick yourself a man of the match in about 40 minutes' time.
Yeah, I got my thinking cap on. I've got one or two ideas already, but I think it's because the both sides have just generally defended so well. Yeah. I only have one attacking player in mind.
There's still plenty of time for some goals as well yet, so that will obviously play a part in maybe changing your mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Hugo Lloris now on to Davis, and then back to Højbjerg, and then back to Lloris again. And we'll get a report from Luke in the game that he's watching shortly as well. I know it's probably just about second half there now. We'll come to him. Now it's Eric Peters again. He's going to play it into midfield to Josh Brownhill, and then on to Roberts there, and Roberts just knocks it ahead of him to Aaron Lennon, is that? And now back to Nick Pope. He's just going to clear it, looking towards the front line, but easy for the Tottenham man there, which I believe might have been Davis. And now Tarkowski, I think there's an offside flag in there anyway at the moment. So whilst we've got the offside there, we're going to come to you, Luke, for a minute to see what the latest is in the game that you're watching.
It's currently still half time. We're currently waiting for the players to come back out, and I'm on an ad break.
Okay, that's fine, mate. So it's still 0-0 then, yeah?
Yep, still 0-0.
Cool. Now it's Romero for Tottenham into is that Harry Winks, or was that Højbjerg? I'm not too sure, but anyway, it's now Son. Now Kane out to Sessegnon there, sorry. Up against Roberts, and wins a corner off of the Burnley man as well. And again, that's another good moment there for Tottenham.
Yeah, fine piece of defending as well. Connor Roberts is struggling, and I just wonder whether Sean Dyche maybe want to get Matt Lowton warmed up, because he's really struggling at the moment. Is Connor Roberts injury-wise?
I'm sure he'll probably be looking at that and potentially getting that sub ready as well now, as the corner's just been taken and whipped in, and it's a good header out there by Tarkowski. And actually, James Tarkowski there, he's had a few things to deal with, but actually so far, without wanting to curse him, he's dealt with everything he's needed to deal with pretty easily.
Yeah, he's looked very solid today. He's had to make a couple of interceptions and blocks, and I think his positioning is good. He's played very, very well for Burnley today.
He's now back with Hugo Lloris, the Tottenham captain now, the French shot stopper there. He's given that straight to Jack Cork as well. Poor clearance. On towards, who was that there? I think it was Rodriguez just shoved down. It says Burnley free kick here. Still remains 0-0. 52 and a bit minutes played. And it's going to be Josh Brownhill to take the free kick. see whether there's going to be any chance of that substitution anytime soon as well, whether Roberts will end up making way shortly. Just from this free kick though, Burnley have got everyone up from the back. Tarkowski and Burnley are up as well, and it's whipped in, looking for Weghorst, and that was a weird little effort there from Weghorst, but Burnley still have it back. Tarkowski and now Rodriguez, and good clearance out by, I think that was Sessegnon, only as far as Peters there, and he goes in a little bit late on his man, and I think it's just going to be a throw, in fact, but again, quite sloppy there in regards to that bit of play there from Burnley, and again another one that kind of just leaves a player in a heap on the ground again.
Yeah, just steamroll Peters there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Nothing illegal about the tackle though. There wasn't anything illegal. It wasn't a foul. He won the ball. He just ended up the way that the player felt. He just steamrolled on top of him, and nothing can be done about it, quite by accident.
Yeah, 100%. And it's looks like the referee is just letting the throw be taken now, and it's now Emerson Royal. Now Romero just hoofs that one or slices that one, whatever you want to say, out for a throw in to Burnley. Burnley's going to take that. And I just want to have a look at if there's any other goals in the Premier League as well in a moment. But it's now back with Nick Pope, and Nick Pope's going to go along towards Rodriguez and given away. And chance here for Burnley now with Eric Peters in possession at the moment. And now it's McNeil, and it's gone out of play that time. McNeil just couldn't get a toe on the end of that one. It's a Tottenham throw there.
Yeah, they're trying to press a Burnley here at the moment, but they just seem to be struggling a little bit with the passing. The first touch of the ball isn't right. The passing isn't right. I know typically Burnley generally play a longer ball game, but that is not working right now, and the passing is way off. And there's another example of it right there.
Yeah, they were just trying to play short there with Burnley, and gone out of play for a throw. Burnley are keeping the ball a little bit though, and they are trying to move it around a little bit at the moment. That's Burnley to Tarkowski, and then on to Roberts, who seems to be moving a little bit more freely, but that was actually a poor ball, which potentially could be down to the fact he's still got a knock, maybe.
Yeah.
Here's Burnley again. 55 played, still awaiting that first goal. Here is Dwight McNeil. Shoved down there by the number 21 Kulusevski, and that's an easy decision there to give the free kick to Burnley.
Still found time to complain, Kulusevski, and he's done this a few times now in the first half. The referee is going to be looking at this, so he needs to keep his mouth shut.
And he does look like one of those players that can lose his temper a little bit if he gets a little bit frustrated there. He looks like one of those players that could potentially be a little bit hot-headed, maybe.
Yeah, you don't want too many of them in your lineup. You've got Granit Xhaka.
Absolutely, yeah. So header there, and it's Burnley, and it's straight through to Hugo Lloris. Don't mention Granit Xhaka in commentaries anymore. Even Arsenal commentaries, I'm going to try not to mention his name anymore, unless it's that he's playing for the opposition.
Which you hope he is.
100%. I'd swap him for Højbjerg in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I've seen him do some crazy things in an Arsenal shirt, and he honestly, managers I think need to come down harder on that sort of thing than they actually do.
In fact, I'd probably swap him for Jack Cork in a heartbeat as well.
Well, I must admit, I know some Burnley fans will call me stupid and crazy, but I wouldn't have Granit Xhaka in a Burnley shirt.
No,
I just wouldn't have him.
It's a chance here for Tottenham. Back to now, and it's Emerson Royal going to try and get a delivery in towards Sessegnon, and it's a chance for Kulusevski up against Peters there, and Burnley just about get it cleared today through that man we were just talking about, Jack Cork, towards Weghorst. It's going to go behind off of him for a Tottenham throw in there. I don't blame you not wanting Granit Xhaka, by the way. I don't want him anyway.
It's not his ability. His ability is fairly good, but he's just a loose cannon. Burnley have a proud record of going. They're the only team right now not to have had a player sent off this season.
which is a massive massive achievement. Obviously, what were you saying earlier? I think you're top on, what was it, corners or something like. So
offsides, I think I mentioned.
Sorry, or offside. So you're winning at everything kind of irrelevant, but
yeah. It's well, that was down to Chris Wood. I put that down to Chris Wood. The gap is reducing. We're only, I think, one more ahead of Manchester United, believe it or not.
That's a good ball in from Harry Kane there, and it's James Tarkowski again, just gets it behind for a Tottenham corner. And James Tarkowski there, one of those players that hasn't really had a fair crack when it comes to international football, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think given the way that he's playing, and his performances have been impressive over the time that he's been at Burnley, and have warranted a place in the England team, in my opinion. In my 100%. Opinion, if Eric Dyer can, he can.
Oh, easy. If Eric Dyer can, I can.
There you go. Get a call up from Gareth, Mike.
He's only just sitting over there as well. Who was that now? That is Jay Rodriguez. Now Eric Peters. Now Eric Dyer in possession again. Now that's Kulusevski. He's going to just roll back to, that's Harry Winks there. And now it's Ben Davis. And now back to Harry Winks again. It's another one who was in the England setup for a while, Harry Winks, and seems to have lost his place now.
Yeah, he's not been a regular starter in the Spurs lineup either, and that kind of really affects your possibly your England chances as well, really.
Absolutely. But when you've got the captain of England playing for your team, maybe, mates and everything, maybe you should be able to help a mate out. Here's Emerson Royal now. As my stream just went off for 30 seconds, but it's still Emerson Royal in possession anyway. And now it's back with Højbjerg there. And now Romero. It's given to Harry Kane, and it's a good bit of play there for Burnley. And now Harry Kane here for Tottenham gets a shot away, and it's gone wide there. Had Nick Pope sort of moving for it a little bit, trying to kind of just help it wide, I guess, if he needed to, but didn't have to do anything with that one. He just kind of allowed it to go behind on its own accord.
Yeah, it looked like Pope had that covered, but just goes to show you can't afford to give Kane space around the edge of the penalty area.
He loves a shot sort of from that position. So obviously, when it comes down to scoring goals in the opposition's penalty area, so he's very prolific. But from 20-25 yards, he can be equally as prolific at times as well.
Yeah, he's a threat in front of goal, and sometimes he can be a little bit inconsistent. And I'm not sure how long he wants to play for Spurs. I'm not going to speculate, but I will say this: that if he leaves Spurs, there'll be a lineup of teams willing to pay a lot of money to bring him to their club. I mean, obviously he wants trophies, he wants success. Right now, he's not going to get that at Tottenham.
No, not for a few years anyway. It's a little bit of a I suppose it's probably a process really at Tottenham at the moment, as the Tottenham fans are probably going to be happy to kind of look at it on that sort of trajectory as well. That it's going to take them a little bit longer than maybe certain other clubs who've got a bit more money than them, like Chelsea and Manchester City, and potentially even Liverpool as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel a bit for Tottenham. They're one of English football's most well-known teams. They've had success in years gone by. They've got the history to go along with it. They've been turned into a bit of a mess by previous regimes, and Antonio Conte has got a lot of work to do to figure it all out.
We're talking about previous regimes. We can't really not talk about the Super League in that conversation. Obviously, one of the clubs, obviously, along with Arsenal and Liverpool, where the owners really wanted to get involved in that, and it was just a strange, decision that how quickly it all started and it ended, and just came to nothing again, pretty much in the space of a day or two.
Oh yeah, thank God for it. I mean, it had to. The fans got upset. They raised their voice, and I'm glad they did, because what a monstrous thing it was.
100%, and it's these teams as well, trying to become trying to use those powers, I guess it is, with the ownership, and it's for teams like Burnley and teams like your Watfords, your Palace, your Brighton, it just I can totally understand where fans of those clubs are coming from 100%.
But why Spurs? That's what I don't understand. They haven't won a European Cup.
No, but neither of Arsenal. Well, Arsenal did win the European trophy, sorry, but not like a Champions League or anything like that. But I don't know why it is with Spurs. You'd probably have to ask their fans that question.
Yeah, I mean, technically, Nottingham Forest should be in there. They've won 2.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Here's Harry Kane now. Looking to play that one into the area towards the defender. And that was shot at goal by Ben Davies there. It was actually Emerson Royal and gone behind for Tottenham corner, I believe. Good play from Burnley defensively there.
Yeah, they just looked a bit statuesque, or they was a bit slow to react. They were able to
win the second corner there, is he? Or is that gonna? In fact, it's going to go behind for what looks like it's actually going to be a goal kick that time. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, they were a bit statuesque, a bit slow to react, but they managed to keep the score still at 0-0. Sometimes that's been Burnley's issue this season. They've been a bit slow to react in defence, and they have been caught out a couple of times. For the first time there, they just didn't look quite assured of themselves in this game.
And they do have, obviously, a very sort of, well, it is a strong defence, actually. If you look at Tarkowski and me, they've played together for quite some time, haven't they? As Tottenham again, an attacking sub ready. Emerson Royal is coming off to be replaced by Lucas Moura. So they are looking to go for this one now, the Lily Whites.
Yeah, Lucas Moura has had his joy against Burnley in the past as well. This is not good news for Sean Dyche.
And it's now with Sessegnon there, and now that's back to the defence and into Lucas Moura there. Just first touch, a poor one from the substitute there. Here's Jay Rodriguez now. It's given away to Son. In fact, it's now all the way forward to Burnley that time and towards Weghorst, and it's picked up by Lloris, and now Winks to Harry Kane, and now on to that's who was at that time? I think that was Kulusevski there involved. Winks as well. Now Tottenham have it in midfield with Højbjerg out to Sessegnon in towards Son. 66 played, still Burnley 0, Tottenham 0 in this Premier League game. Here's Son now. What can Son do here? The Korean is going to try and put that one forward towards Kulusevski, but one in the air by the Burnley defence and hook clear, but only as far as Højbjerg though. And now it's with Winks, and now there's Son. Bit of space here for Kulusevski now. He has a shot, and it takes a deflection off of Ben Mee, I believe, wasn't it? And back to Kulusevski again. He's going to knock it back to Romero. Now Winks. And Kulusevski there. And it's taking a deflection. And it's not too sure what happened there. It's now back with the Tottenham defence anyway at the moment. And that's Ben Davies. Now Højbjerg, and now Eric Dyer. Now Romero. Can he go back, is he? In fact, might have to take over for a sec, Paul. I think my stream's it's back now. It is glitchy a little bit though, but you might have to back with Ben Mee, and now it's Brownhill. It's back with Ben Mee again. Now Dwight McNeil. And it's whipped in. It's a header. Oh, that's a good save there from Hugo Lloris. I think that was Weghorst, was it, on the end of that one as well? And now Tottenham are looking to break through Harry Kane. He's got Son in support if he wants to use him. It's given away though, and now it's back with McNeil there. And it's now chance here for... Well, it's now back with Tottenham again. So it's a shot of goal there from Tottenham, and Kulusevski put wide. So it's one of those ones that seems to be going forward every couple of seconds. but because of the way that where I'm trying to watch it at the minute as well from the machine I've got here as well, it seems to be really difficult to make out sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing what I'm seeing from Burnley as well, though, is the really again they're working hard defensively. That was a great intercepting header by Ben Mee.
That was a great save from Rodriguez. Was it Rodriguez's header, I believe, as well? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of funny, really, but it it's they're doing very, very well at Burnley, but I just don't think they're creating enough right now. They need to win this game.
That's very course, and it's now on to I think that's Roberts, is it? He just got shoved down to the ground there.
Mm-hmm.
Free kick to Burnley. 20 minutes to play. Still 0-0. And was it Aaron Lennon? In fact, he went down that time. Sorry.
Yeah, and I got Sessegnon there that made that tackle.
Yeah, it was one of those ones. It was a little bit needless, really. Aaron Lennon has the opportunity to get the balls into the box sometimes from these kind of areas, but I suppose it's one of those fouls that he didn't really need to make. Whipped in by Brownhill. Header out a goal, and it's in there. It's gone into the back of the net. It's James Tarkowski. We were saying about him defensively. He's done his job going forward now as well. In fact, did it come off Ben Mee? Was it Ben Mee or Tarkowski there? But anyway,
it was Ben Mee. It was Ben Mee. And what a header! This is his third goal of the season. That ball in was sensational.
It's a beautiful ball on a sixpence. Is what you want to say when it comes to that one. And Ben Mee there, round at the back post. What a header that was. Brilliant header.
Oh, absolutely superb. I am so impressed with this. Again, you can't call this bad defending. This is just whipped in beautifully. It goes over Weghorst's head, and that header there by Ben Mee using his physical strength to get his third goal of the season, I believe. And that, for me, is a perfect time for Burnley to take the lead. Oh boy, now that's going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, because now Spurs have what 18 minutes to pull this back. This could prove to be a priceless goal for Burnley.
And we were just saying, obviously, there, Ben Mee coming in back post, a great header. Obviously, James Tarkowski was in the mix as well. And also, Weghorst was in the mix. But, that's Ben Mee. He loves goals like that, coming in round at the back post. And you see that, I've seen that a couple of times from Ben Mee, that's what he's capable of. And again, that's a really good delivery and then a perfect header from Ben Mee as well.
First attempt on goal as well, Mike.
That's 71 minutes, and we've had the first attempt. It's taken a while.
From Burnley's point of view, but
yeah.
Nevertheless, this is going to be a real test of this Burnley defence. One of the key things that have kept Burnley up in the Premier League over the 5 years that they've been here is their ability to shut down games with single goals. They've lost that ability in the last 18 months or so, but they need to find that today if they're going to get these vital 3 points that they need.
And it's Eric Dyer for Tottenham now, and it's going to come off Jay Rodriguez and go behind it in fact, with Sessegnon there. And again, we're just touching on, obviously, Burnley and how good that is for Sean Dyche's side. This is on the back of a win against Brighton as well. If they can go on and grab another goal here and sort of, grab a sort of decider, really, and put this game beyond any doubt, then, it's another massive result and actually a very good couple of days for Burnley if they get 2 results like that against 2 sides that are having very good seasons.
It'll be absolutely huge. It could turn their season around.
And it's now with Kulusevski for Tottenham. And it's going to be knocked back to Harry Winks and on to Eric Dyer and then across to, I think that was Højbjerg, was it? Now, Sessegnon. Ryan Sessegnon into Lucas Højbjerg might have been Mora. And now, chance here for Romero for Tottenham. It's back with Ben Davies, and now here's Son. Chance for Tottenham to get the ball into the area. In fact, it's back to Sessegnon again. Ryan Sessegnon. Good bit of play there from Aaron Lennon, but still gets across in towards Mora. Now it's with Kulusevski again. And he's going to get an effort at goal, does he? No, it takes a deflection off the Burnley man and gets it back, though. Now it's Højbjerg. Now back with Harry Winks. And on to Kulusevski once more. He's going to open up for a shot and takes a deflection there and goes back to Eric Dyer. And Tottenham putting on a bit more pressure. Here's Ben Davies now. Out to Ryan Sessegnon again. Up against Weghorst this time. And now Harry Kane's had to come out wide, which is kind of where you want him if you're a Burnley fan right now as well. Here's Højbjerg. On to Kulusevski. Whips it in, and it's going to go all the way out of play for a Burnley goal kick there. And if Harry Kane's been forced out that wide, then Burnley are doing everything they need to do right now.
Yeah, this is what Burnley do. They're so well organised defensively. When they play like that, they're very difficult to break down, and it forces some of the strikers to perhaps do some of the extra hard work because they're just picked out so easily and marked out so easily. And at this point, I think for Spurs, they need to bring Son into the game more. When he's had the ball, he's been a torment for that Burnley defence, and they're not bringing him into the game enough.
No, and he's not really had much support when it comes down to the likes of the midfield. Obviously, Højbjerg has been in midfield, and Harry Winks hasn't really been involved. Son's got an opportunity now, and it's towards Højbjerg, who was actually up, and it's going to come off of him last, is it, for a goal kick? Or does it come off a Burnley man last there?
I think that should be a goal kick.
Let's have a look there. But yeah. Harry Kane, Lucas Moura, there's Son is in a bit more of a attacking position there for Tottenham. Let's have a look there. There probably will be a goal kick. Let's have a look though. Connor Roberts, I don't think he got a touch. I don't think he did. I think it is a goal kick.
But you see, when they brought in Son into that play there, he's got the beating of his man. He can whip the ball in. He can create chances. Even if you don't want to use him as a forward at this point, use him as somebody that can create these opportunities. They've got a golden nugget in Son, and he could turn this game around.
And there was just a bit of a grimace again there from Connor Roberts as well. I'm not too sure whether Sean Dyche should be, looking to get him off and replace him with Matt Loughton in the next few minutes, because obviously he's had a few issues in this game already, and just for a second there, he looked in a bit of pain again.
Yeah, I think you see, the thing is, he's playing so well, and he's really battering it. So it's very hard for Sean Dyche to bring him off in such an important game. But I think he has to consider the long-term effects.
There's Ryan Sessegnon here for Tottenham up against Roberts now as well. He's going to go back, is he, towards? In fact, he's gone to Harry Kane that time. And Roberts does well to actually close down the Tottenham front man. And now Harry Winks there. Harry Winks for Tottenham. Going to try and play this one to Mora. It's Burnley 1, Tottenham 0 on the TC Hub and all platforms as well. Coming up to 78 minutes. So we'll be coming to you for your player of the match very shortly, Paul, as well.
Well, we'll see how it finishes up, but I think I've got someone in mind.
Sessegnon there towards Kulusevski, and now back with Sessegnon, who just couldn't do anything with that one. It's now Weghorst for Burnley. Is that a handball there? The referee says no, but actually Weghorst goes down and wins the free kick anyway. So good play there from the Dutch striker.
It's actually been a red card at the Sheffield United and Blackburn Rovers game, which I think Luke is looking at right now.
Okay, whilst that's sort of a semi-breaking play there, red card, Luke. Who for? And how's it going to change the game?
It's for Charlie Good, who was making his debut for Sheffield United today. He basically two-footed Raider Kadra on halfway, and literally you can't tackle like that in football. It was a definite red card. Saying that, I was surprised that Sander Berge is still on the pitch after the couple of tackles he's been making. So it could make it interesting and may actually get a goal now because it's been very even until that red card.
There's another substitution. It's Ryan Sessegnon has made way for Tottenham, and he's been replaced by Stephen Bergwijn. So that's the third and final substitution for Tottenham. Burnley has still got to make, still got all of theirs that they can make, sorry, I should say.
Yeah, it's the last throw of the dice for Conte, but what a throw to play, hey? Stephen Bergwijn.
Very good player. Obviously, another real attacking threat there. And taking off Ryan Sessegnon, obviously they want to go and just chuck as many forward and attacking, thinking players on as they can do, yeah.
Well, it's nice to see Burnley are still moving the ball forward, but as we go into the last 10 minutes of this game, I have to think that Sean Dyche should now be looking at what he does to try to manage this game for the 3 points. There is only one goal in it. Spurs are very dangerous going forward. At this point, if I was in Sean Dyche's shoes, I know I'd be so reluctant to take Connor Roberts off. But he is at the moment. He's still perhaps moving a little gingerly, and you don't want this man being a long-term absentee, especially when he's playing so well right now.
Just looking, actually, you said about Burnley and how Burnley can hopefully see, potentially see this game out. Burnley have actually been pretty good in the last few games, anyway, against the so-called bigger teams. Obviously, they drew with Arsenal, they drew with Manchester United as well, and were only narrowly edged out by Liverpool, and then obviously the victory over Brighton at the weekend. So Burnley in the last 5 are in decent form, and they've played some good sides as well.
Yeah, they've definitely improved, and that's been cumulative of the defence improving. And I've said this before to you, Mike, when we've had one of our long conversations in the group chat, that Burnley's defence is the reason they're still a Premier League team. Nothing else. They are not a Premier League team on paper. And this is why they're there. Their ability to snatch these 1-0 victories, their ability to shut games out and be so well organised. And I'm seeing Ashley Barnes warm up now. So maybe we may see Rodriguez come off or Weghorst to make that change just to freshen things up a little bit.
And obviously, if Ashley Barnes does come on, sorry, I should say, that's another attacking threat there for Burnley. It will be one of the strikers. Obviously, you don't need to put on an extra striker when you're 1-0 up, and to be a straight replacement. And obviously, just looking at the next few games as well, it might be Weghorst, maybe. Obviously, with Palace maybe in mind. Obviously, because he had a bit of a knock, then he'd coming into this game as well.
Yeah, and they have a penalty at Sheffield United versus Blackburn as well.
Oh, let's go to Luke then. Once we get a second penalty for what side, Luke?
For Blackburn, John Egan handballed it in the box from a Raider Cadra shot. Cadra's currently outstanding over the penalty. It shouldn't be too long until it's taken because we've had a whiffle waffle while you were talking there. So referee just pacing outwards. It's going to be taken now. Saved.
Oh, so you're still yet to get your goal.
Yep.
You've had a red card and a missed penalty. At least there's been some action in the game anyway. Corner for Burnley now. 82 on the clock. Still leading 1-0 as well against Antonio Conte's Tottenham. Sean Dyche's Burnley side. That was good play there from Burnley. Looking to add to that 1-goal advantage that they've got. See whether they can do so from this corner, to be taken by the number 11, Dwight McNeil, whipped in towards Rodriguez, and it's Benme again, and it's second bite of the cherry, and he still couldn't quite direct that one in. Good delivery though from McNeil, and again Benme up from the back looking to grab a second goal there.
Yeah, but just looking at the replay there, what a chance for Rodriguez. It bounced straight through him. Bounced straight to him, and he was only 6 yards out, and he managed to put it over. Are Burnley going to live to regret missing that chance?
I've just seen the fact that there was the Rodriguez one there as well. There, I didn't realise that Rodriguez actually got a touch on that to put it over the top. But that was one of those gilt-edged opportunities for Burnley. And maybe if Ashley Barnes was on, maybe that might be 2-0, but we'll, it's all if buts and maybes. You can't really speculate, can you?
No,
It's
you
whipped
can't.
in by Bergwijn there, and Lucas Moura here. Chance for Tottenham. Is it going to be Harry Winks down? He goes down. Referee says he went down a bit easy though.
Oh, VAR are looking at something.
Let's see whether it was.
It's outside, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to be a free kick. I think it'd be a soft free kick anyway, personally.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if the referee will call that back for a free kick, but I think they were checking to see if it was inside the box, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. Of course.
Sorry, no, it is in the box. It is. Oh no, sorry, it's right on the edge, is it? Yeah, I think it's right on the edge. He's basically said that it's not. Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, good decision. Right, cool. I was thinking because sometimes when it's on the edge of the area, they were supposed to originally give it in favour of the attackers. Well, I don't know, but it's Moura there over the top. So
Yeah.
Burnley still hanging on at the minute. Still about 5.5 to play, plus any additional time.
Yeah, just looking at that gilt-edge chance by Rodriguez. Oh, that should have been 2-0.
It was a good delivery, obviously, from the corner as well. Ben Mee, good block from Winks, and then puts the ball through to Jay Rodriguez there. And yeah, he's unmarked pretty much as well. And it just kind of bobbles in front of him a little bit, doesn't it? Or bobbles up off of him, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that 5 minutes left, so they have to manage this game out. But yeah, that was a chance. Can't afford to miss those.
That's a good header from Rodriguez, looking to find Van Course there. Going to hold up players in and play Rodriguez in again. It's Rodriguez. Good feet from Rodriguez there. Knocks it back to McNeil. He's going to whip it in towards Van Course, and it's seen through to Aaron Lennon now, and now Roberts. And Connor Roberts, is he going to open up for a shot, or is he going to play it to Brownhill? He plays it to Brownhill, and that's just wide of Hugo Lloris's goal there.
Well, it's Burnley don't have long to see this game out, but it's still finely tuned at 1-0, and Spurs have got the attacking prowess to get it back into this game.
Of course, Burnley are still yet to make the substitutions, though, as well. I don't know whether a bit of game management might come into play with the second sort of ticking down, the clock ticking down a little bit now. Yeah.
I think at this point they'll probably be able to see the finishing line, but you're still up against talented world-class players. So Burnley have to stay switched on here right to the end if they want to take the 3 points.
Oh, there's a chance here for Son, and it's going to be knocked into Bergwijn. It's good, comfortable gloves there from Nick Pope. Obviously, going back to what you were just saying, asked Manchester City that. They thought they grabbed a point against Tottenham at the weekend, and then a 95th minute winner from Harry Kane. So, yeah, that's you've only got to ask Manchester City fans that.
Yeah, that's true. And they're readying. Oh yeah, it's gonna. You were right. It is going to be Wout Weghorst, especially because of the knock that perhaps he took last weekend against Brighton, and he's going to come off now. And Ashley Barnes is going to come on. Who scored against Spurs before, of course.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that Weghorst can be proud of performance today. He's moved the ball around well. His movement has been excellent. I know for the most part he's had very little opportunity, but I think he's done very, very well today. And he's going to go off now and take a rest.
Yeah, he's worked hard. He's had without sort of creating any goals for himself or getting any chances of note in that kind of aspect. He's led the line very well, as you want your main striker to do. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, a fresh pair of legs right now is a good thing. And I think it's a smart move to make by Dyche at this time. The game is almost over, which, by the way, I should probably give you my man of the match, which goes to Connor Roberts.
Yeah, he's been sensational. I've really liked his performance as well. I think you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah, he throughout the game, despite the knocks, despite the injuries, he's shown himself to be effective. I have been so impressed with this signing. I know most Burnley fans have been raving Maxwell Cornet, and rightly so, but I think Connor Roberts has been such an outstanding signing for Burnley this season. What a steal.
Yeah, massive signing for Burnley. Yeah. Write that in there. Connor Roberts for that one. So there we go. Just coming to the end of the game, obviously now. Still 1-0 to Burnley with just over a minute to go, plus any additional time. A chance here for Ashley Barnes to hold it up there, and it's one as well. Won the throw off of Eric Dyer there.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of injury time. I'm thinking there might be about 3 minutes, maybe 4, because there has been 1 or 2 stoppages in this second half.
And it's good play from Ashley Barnes there. Held the ball up very well, and Eric Dyer, all he could do really was foul his man there. Probably won't be right on the nose of full time like it was at half time with the final whistle being blown. Looks like there's a chance here for Ben Mee and Tarkowski to get up from the back though, and see whether Burnley can add to this and steal this one now. One in the air there by James Tarkowski that time. I think it's gone behind for a corner off of his head though. The goal kicks away off his head though, I should say.
Yeah, smart play by Connor Roberts, and Antonio Conte is not a happy man right now.
He knows that time is running out for his Tottenham side, even with the way that the weekend result went. Of course, he did say in his press conference about Harry Kane as well, didn't he? About he would have played Harry Kane even if he had one leg. The fact that the Tottenham had a bit of an injury after the weekend's game, which I thought was quite an interesting statement.
Well, he kind of needs him, doesn't he? I mean, what has Spurs got if they want to make the top 4? And that's a stretch right now. But what have Spurs got without Harry Kane, or with the greatest of respect to Lucas Moura and Steven Bergwijn?
Yeah.
These are great players. They're world-class players, but they're not top 4 players. Not in my opinion.
No, I think you have to. I'd agree with that as well. Kulusevski there towards Bergwijn. It's Connor Roberts here for Burnley now. Goes down. Bit of time management, game management there as Bergwijn just kind of goes through the back of him a little bit, and we're into 3 minutes of additional time, by the way. And Burnley, to be honest, look like hanging on at the way that things are at the moment. As Antonio Conte is having a word with the fourth official there, Jonathan Marcy. I think he wanted longer than 3 minutes there when the board was lifted up.
I think 3 minutes is fair. I think given the, I mean, okay, you might argue and say 4 minutes, maybe. I'm not gonna get into an argument over that. But I think 3 minutes is reasonable in my mind.
And Tottenham obviously have only got 2 minutes now of that 3 to get themselves an equaliser, and the ball is with Nick Pope, and it's cleared looking for, that was one of the midfielders. It might have been Jack Cork possibly, but it's back with Nick Pope again now. And Nick Pope, if he's got any sense, will just take a few extra seconds there, which it looks like he is doing. And then clears it long into the Tottenham half towards James Rodriguez, and it's won by Tottenham though, and I think it might have been Harry Winks at that time, and it's hoof clear really, an outplay for a Tottenham throw, and those are good throws to give away because you can kind of obviously box your defensive. You can box the defensive team in then.
Yeah,
Burnley didn't really want to do that by the looks of things.
No, but I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, this is the game management that I'm talking about. Take a look at Connor Roberts with that situation with Bergwijn before. He takes the foul, and that
Aaron Lennon for Burnley into the last of the 3 minutes as well. Looks like Burnley are going to be holding on for a 1-0 win here. which is a
No,
massive
don't
victory.
say that, Mike. Don't say that.
Massive victory for Sean Dyche's men if they do manage to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be huge. I mean, Sean Dyche is there already, looking at his watch, tapping his watch. Antonio Conte has got his head down. He looks a defeated man. I feel for him. I really feel for him because he's a fantastic manager, a world-class manager, and he's got such
towards Kulusevski, and it's gone out of play for a Burnley goal kick, and we're about 7 seconds away from the end of the allocated free. Obviously, a minimum of 3, of course, but I think the game will be concluding any second now. In fact, I think Graham Scott is going to try and tell Nick Pope to hurry up, and Kulusevski just put it on the spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, this is gamesmanship by Burnley, and every football team does it. They all the time. It's normal.
And Nick Pope's just taking a second there, going whack his boots against the post to waste a few seconds there. We're 30 seconds over the allocated 3 minutes, and Burnley still leading by that 1-0. The goal obviously scored by Burnley, and it's taken here by Nick Pope, and there is the full-time whistle. Burnley have hung on and beaten Antonio Conte's Tottenham by 1-0. Very good performance there from Burnley to a man, really. James Karkowski was very, very good. Burnley grabbing the goal, done his job defensively as well. Connor Roberts, obviously your player of the match, Paul. Weghorst as well. There's some real positives there for Burnley to take from this game. And Nick Pope actually didn't really have to make a save either, did he? So good performance from Burnley all round, and a good 3 points as well.
One of the best defensive displays I've seen from Burnley, actually ever. I could have picked Tarkowski as man of the match. I could have picked Ben Mee as the man of the match. Defensively, they were superb. They shut Kane down. I think my criticism of Tottenham is they didn't bring Son into the game enough. Yeah. But they completely shot Mora down, Bergwijn down.
Harry Kane had, considering you look at that game and you look at this Tottenham side with Son, with Harry Kane. Obviously, Harry Kane, would be confident, obviously, going into this game, having got 2 goals at the weekend. Apart from the one off the bar, that's the only one that he had in this game.
Yeah, they had nothing. They really didn't have a great deal. That was the crossbar, hitting the crossbar, Kane hitting the crossbar, and that was not due to Burnley's bad defending. That was due to a unbelievably world-class ball into the box by Son that was headed with great power against the crossbar by Harry Kane. But that was it. That's all you can say for Spurs.
No, and I'm sure Nick Pope wouldn't have expected an evening as easy as he had as well. Not making any saves really of note. And when you see the talent that Tottenham obviously even brought on with Bergwijn and Mora as well, they had 5 or 6 players. If you look at Kulusevski, there were probably 5 players there that they were chucking on in terms of attackers. Obviously Kane, Son, Kulusevski, then obviously Mora and Bergwijn as well. And Burnley dealt with them all easily. They literally couldn't have asked for an easier evening's work, really.
And looking at the standings, Burnley have a game in hand over Newcastle and 2 games in hand over Leeds. They are 2 points behind Newcastle and Everton and 3 points behind Leeds. I don't know. If they continue to play well like that, they could get themselves out of this, and it would be the greatest escape since West Brom did it in 2005. They're the only other team to have done it at this point. And
then if you look at, I was just saying, obviously, the next game obviously is Crystal Palace, which is a game that obviously they can look at as a winnable game, that's for sure. Even though Crystal Palace went on and won 4-1 against Watford in the end, 2 goals late on from Wilf Zaha, added to the goals from Conor Gallagher and Mateta. Sissoko obviously scoring for Watford that I mentioned earlier, and Mane was on the score sheet for Liverpool as well, about 6 to play in that one. They're 4-0 up against Leeds now. So Leeds are continuing on their kind of little bit of a slump that they're having. And And then after that, there's obviously Leicester, Chelsea, and then games against Brentford and Southampton, who are winnable games as well.
Yeah, I think they have a chance now. If you'd have asked me 2 weeks ago whether Burnley would have got out of this, I would have told you definitely not. And that they should, in fact, even be preparing to a contingency plan for the Championship next season. But I mean, they can look at this now as being an absolutely fantastic performance by them. And
to be honest, I said it earlier, it's a fantastic 5 days for them. Obviously, winning against Brighton and then winning today.
And the most important thing for me is they didn't concede on either of those games. That is the most important thing for me. And they can be very, very pleased with today's result. This is something the fans can celebrate. Sean Dyche can celebrate. He doesn't need to talk about margins. He can celebrate this as being an excellent result against a Spurs team that didn't play badly. I don't think they were poor. I think that they did. I don't think they really defended dreadfully or allowed any goals that I would consider to be sloppy. They played quite well. They were just shut down, I think.
Obviously, that's a good result when it comes down to Arsenal and Wolves, who obviously meet tomorrow as well. If Arsenal go on and win that game, that'd be I think it'd be a 6-point gap over Tottenham there. Obviously, ifs and buts again. Obviously, the way Wolves are defended as well, and obviously, I think Wolves have won a bit of a revenge, kind of on the back of last week's result when Arsenal won by that 0-0. Obviously, with the goal, and then obviously the goal from Gabriel. So, and then obviously the red card for Martinelli as well. But Arsenal obviously won at the weekend, picked up a good result, and it's all about how Arsenal can continue on with that bit of form that they've got. And, Tottenham obviously showed that they can't do it today. They go to Manchester City. Were they complacent? Well, not complacent. Were they like a little bit overconfident maybe? Thinking it is, we can beat Man City. We should have no issue beating Burnley. Like, I don't know, what the mentality of Tottenham was, but it's a great result for Burnley nonetheless, either way.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I mean, this could be the turning point for them. Starting with Brighton and the win there, and the win today, this could be a season turning point for Burnley.
And of course, Tottenham go to Leeds at the weekend as well. Another game, which hopefully for your sake and Burnley fans' sake, that there'd be a result there in Spurs' favour. And then Tottenham obviously have Middlesbrough in the FA Cup after that, and then Everton, Man United, and Brighton. So a couple of tricky games there towards the end of the next 5. Man United away and Brighton away, not easy places to go to. Although obviously Burnley did their bit at the weekend and got a very good result against Brighton.
Yeah. These 6 points has definitely helped Burnley. I think, if Spurs go and get a victory over Leeds, because now Leeds, with their defeat today, or they're losing right now with 5 minutes left against Liverpool, with their defeat, Watford's defeat, teams are being dragged into this. Everton, Leeds, Newcastle, even Brentford aren't that far behind. They're only 4 points clear themselves. So yeah, it's making it interesting at the bottom.
They've played 3 games more than Burnley as well. In 14th, they're on 26, and that Leeds have played less than them. Everton have played less than them. It's looking quite bleak at the minute for Brentford, as Luke has had a goal as well. So we're going to hand over to Luke. Which way has it gone? Has it gone to the 10 men or to the 11?
Well, the most predictable thing in this situation is Sheffield United have scored. Ben Davies came on off the bench about probably 5 minutes ago and has basically just headed in after a Blackburn mess at the back. I mean, Blackburn with an extra man just didn't deal with the corner that came in, and Ben Davies just, I'm watching it again now, headed, Kaminsky has to do better, than headed in and swept him by Ben Davies in the box.
And obviously, you were just saying just a minute before that you weren't sure how Blackburn hadn't scored. So the way that football goes, Blackburn think they're going to go and score down one end, and then a few minutes later, it's flipped and reversed itself.
Yeah, I mean, there was a free kick that went into the box, and I don't actually remember at that point who got on the end of it, but Fotheringham saved it. It bounced out to Lenihan, who then hits it back, and it kind of hits another Sheffield United player's arm, but in a sense, it was quite close contact, so I can see why that wasn't given. Blackburn are going to be heavily frustrated if they don't get anything in the next 2 minutes of this game because, to be honest, they've got an extra man. They had a penalty. They've been all over Sheffield United in the second half, and they've been made to pay for not capitalising on chances.
And what happened with the penalty as well? I saw that you put there that it was apparently a double touch. So did they have to take it a second time, or what happened?
No, because I don't think anybody noticed it, but on the replay, it looks like Kadra, as he took the penalty, slipped and it kind of touched both feet.
So it's one of those ones that it was quite difficult to spot. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it on the replay, but I think I can see why it wasn't asked to be retaken. And I mean, I think Paul Heckingbottom can thank Ben Davies for getting Charlie Good out of a very, very difficult position. Not a good result for Forest, this one.
No, of course not. No, we've the way that result is. Leeds are now 5-0 down to Liverpool, and just like Mo Salah grabbing himself a couple of goals, when Sadio Mane was on the score sheet with one, to be fair, he can't just stop at one, can he? So he had to go and get himself his second as well.
Yeah, it's not see, now Leeds have got to be careful because goal difference now becomes an issue. And if they're being dragged to near the bottom of the table, Leeds have to try to pick themselves up here.
We've got very happy JB in the comment section as well, saying what a win, Ben Mee, you are a beauty. Very delighted JB there, which obviously a delighted JB is a good JB.
Yeah, hey JB, that was a great result, and especially on the back end of the Brighton victory as well. Fantastic.
So obviously you touched on Connor Roberts, your player of the match as well. We touched on obviously there was loads of candidates as well from the Burnley side. Ben Mee, obviously James Tarkowski. There was loads of players there from this Burnley side that actually had a good impact on this game. And to even look at that the goal as well, Ben Mee's goal, beautifully timed cross and lovely header. And McNeil, it was McNeil, wasn't it, with delivery as well, right onto Ben Mee's head. Lovely ball, and Ben Mee just doesn't miss those.
Yeah, I think it was McNeil. It was either McNeil or Roberts, but I can't remember. But it was a superb ball into the box, wasn't it?
It's a lovely goal, and actually, you said obviously, you can't look at any bad defending from Tottenham. It was actually really, really good ball in, and then a great header. And the Tottenham defence, I suppose, won't be happy with it. Antonio Conte will sort of look at it and maybe look at one or two of his defenders coming round and who was marking Ben Mee. But Ben Mee just done well to get away from his defender and head it in. It was you can't really argue too much with that.
Yeah. The only criticism I would say of the Spurs defence is I can't remember who it was. I think it was Sessegnon. Just was maybe not physically strong enough with me. But Ben Mee is a very, very big, tough, physically strong player himself. So it was just I feel I'd be being very unfair to Sessegnon here because the ball was just whipped in so well. It's one of them ones that you just can't defend.
No, that's right, and it was a lovely ball in, a great header as well. Just before we end the stream, I just want to have a look at. Leeds have conceded 6. Virgil van Dijk, and luckily for them, finally the final whistle has been blown now as well. So 6 for Leeds to kind of go on their goals against as well now, with Leeds obviously in 15th, 3 points ahead of Burnley with 2 games played more as well. And their next game obviously is Tottenham, and they're going into that game at home on the back of a thumping as well now.
Yeah, Russ is not having a good day today, is he?
No.
Oh dear.
I think he'd
Yeah.
be. I think he would have. I don't know whether he was watching the game with his dad or what he was doing, but I think he would have turned off when it was probably 3 or 4. So
Yeah, that is it's no fun when you're getting. I mean, we've been through it ourselves, losing 5-0 to Manchester City every time we seem to play them at the Etihad.
I know it even as an Arsenal fan. Anytime that we play Liverpool, it seemed to be 4 or whatever. So
it's not a pleasant experience to watch, is it? It's not
well,
fun.
it goes back to the weekend. Obviously, going to Stevenage at the weekend and seeing them get done 4 as well against Bristol Rovers. So yeah, I've seen that twice this season as well. So like in League Two level.
Yeah, I mean, this is the difference. So this is what a team like Liverpool can do to you.
Liverpool, yeah, Liverpool do love a couple of they love to do this to a couple of teams as well. Big result for them. They are now up to 60 points as well, sitting 3 points behind Manchester City. It does really look like a 2-horse title race as well. Chelsea are 10 points behind. I think it is, it's 26 games played. Chelsea got a game in hand, 53. Yeah, it's probably as good as a 2-horse title race right now between City and Liverpool.
Yeah, and I still think, despite it all, I still think City will probably win it. But I just think, Liverpool, this is probably the best Liverpool team that they've had since probably longer than I've been watching football. When I look at the Liverpool team of the 80s and the 90s, the late 80s anyway,
Yeah.
and I was looking at the likes of Peter Beardsley, John Barnes, Ray Houghton, Ian Rush. And then I look at the team that they've got today. I almost want to say the team they've got today is even better than that. But yet they could maybe get really high number of points at the end of the season and not win the league.
Yeah, which is, obviously that shows how good Manchester City are, and how, sort of dominant they've been in years gone by. Obviously, the last few years since the new owners, the Sheikhs came in as well. But yeah, there's 2 very, very good sides there in City and Liverpool. And then if you look at the sort of from third downwards, Chelsea, Manchester United, West Ham, Arsenal, Wolves, Tottenham will still be in the mix for that top 4 as well. So there's one of probably 2, 4, 6, one of 6 teams to get to the final Champions League place.
Yeah, and I wonder how long this will go on for before Newcastle's the fruits of Newcastle's expenditure will begin to show itself, and whether they will dominate the Premier League or the Manchester City or the Champions League. It's the coming next 5 years or so, if we're all still here, will be very interesting to see.
Going to the Champions League as well, Elanga, he scored against Leeds at the weekend. He's actually scoring a little bit for Manchester United. He scored against Atletico Madrid today as well. So Elanga's grabbed another goal, and it's Atletico 1, Manchester United 1 at the moment with about 6 to play. It finished in the Arnold Clark Cup. The Lionesses were 3-1 winners over the Germans, with White, Bright and Kirby scoring the Germans' goal in that one. So there was a good game of football there, and the Lionesses come out on top in that game. And then if you look at the Championship, just briefly as well, there's a few games taking place in the Championship that we're on tonight. Just bear with me 1 second. Well, in fact, while I get that up, let's have a look here now. There we go. So the Championship games, Mitrovic obviously had scored for Fulham. He got 2 penalties. 2 goals, I should say, as they went on and won 2-1 against Peterborough. Millwall won 2-1 against Derby. Huddersfield won 2-1 against Cardiff. QPR won 2-1 against Blackpool. QPR had 10 men for a while of that one as well. Sheffield United won Blackburn. Neil was a full-time scorer as well. And then latest score into added time. I don't think the whistle was being blown yet. It's Stoke 1, Luton 2. So looks like Luton are doing very well as well, from where they were years ago in non-league football to being 2 points outside the Championship playoffs. So good for Luton as well at the moment, if you look at it in that sense.
Yeah, they're
So-
kind of surprising this season, aren't they, Luton?
Yeah, they're doing very well. QPR obviously won as well. They're in the playoffs. But yeah, it'd be nice if Luton and QPR got into the playoffs, and there's a little bit of I suppose it's a semi-rivalry between them from years gone by. So that would be, and obviously they're two clubs that were old first division clubs, and QPR have been in the Premier League obviously as well. Yeah.
They both used to have the plastic pitch. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I do indeed. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there on a night that Leeds got done 6-0 against Liverpool. Crystal Palace were 4-1 winners in their game over Watford. Manchester United in the Champions League are currently 1-1 with Atletico Madrid. And on the game that we covered, of course, Burnley went on and they continued on the good form from the weekend, obviously beating Brighton 3-0 at the weekend. And they defeated Antonio Conte's Tottenham by 1-0. Ben Mee was the man on the score sheet. And it now leaves the Clarets just sitting up in 18th, 2 points off the relegation zone. But they do have a game in hand over Newcastle as well. So thank you for listening to the Commentary Hub. Thank you for joining, Paul. Thank you to Luke for some updates on the game between Sheffield United and Blackburn as well. We'll be back very, very soon with some more coverage. And go and check out the other stream that we've had on live now as well for some more football content. And you can go and hear how the Lionesses got on, even though I've just told you anyway. But you can go and hear how it all unfolded. But thanks, Paul. Thanks, Luke. Burnley victorious by 1-0 over Conte's Tottenham.